So today we're just going to do a quick update on what's been going on at the rebuild shop, the Halifax 57 Rescue rebuild shop here in Arnprior. We're continuing on with the trailing edge, but we've also moved on to other areas as well at the same time. We've got multiple volunteers coming in, so we're trying to keep everybody busy. We can't all work on the same thing. So we're starting to create the flap components. The flaps are made up of a series of ribs. Each rib is made up of about 3 or 4 parts. And the first step is to build what are called these form blocks. So these blocks will be made out of hardwood. And we use these we put a blank aluminum piece in there, and we hammer form the part around the form. And these are the templates for the actual blank itself. So we will cut a shape out of aluminum. We're using 3000 series aluminum. We put it in the form, we clamp it into the form, and then we take forming hammers and we form the part around the form, and then pop it out. And lo and behold, we've got a part. One of the issues was that when we did our first attempt, this curve was causing a lot of rippling in the part, and in essence what happens is you get this, you need to shrink the metal in those areas so it conforms with the form. We were shrinking the material, but it wasn't working very well. We don't have a very good shrinker here, and it was marring the material. So then one of our neighbors said, well, why don't you just put some scallops in those forms? And what that does is that effectively shrinks the metal that's being formed over the form, and it'll help it conform. So these scallops have worked very well. We'll show you in a moment how it's turned out. But very happy. So these are the rough forms to cut out the templates or the blank. And we now have 3 different form blocks for building these parts. We'll go over and show you some parts being made in a form. So here we have the blank that's been put into the form block. We clamp the form block securely in the vise, and we literally pull the material over the form block. Now, I'm not sure if you can see it there or not, but you see there's these ripples. So this has a very slight arc to it, a big little, very slight curve. So the aluminum puckers in those areas. If it was a straight edge, it wouldn't be puckering. But because it's curved a little bit, we're getting this puckering. So I'll do my best to pull that over. That's about as far as I'm going to go. Now what I do is I'm actually going to use the scallops that we spoke about a moment ago, and just bring the material down into those scallops. And go for a slightly harder hammer. So now that's coming down now. So whenever I smash the material down into that scallop, it pulls on the aluminum and shrinks it, and that's what allows it to conform. It's kind of like a bottle cap. You ever seen like a bottle cap on an old style Coke bottle? It have those pleats around it almost. Well, that's what those are there for. As they form those bottle caps, without those pleats, the bottle cap wouldn't form into the right shape. And the deeper I bring that material into the scallop, the tighter the aluminum gets. So it's probably tough for you to see here, but on the back side, the piece is basically formed now to the block. So that's basically it. So here's a part that's been taken out of the form. And later on, these holes will be drilled out and we'll be flaring those holes. But there's a completed part. And what's nice is that these sit nice and flat. If we hadn't have put those scallops in there and stretched that material, or sorry, shrunk that material, the part would have been all distorted and wouldn't have sat flat on the table. So this is a good part that we can carry on with into the next phase of the part forming. So the green parts here are actual World War II parts from HR 871. It was shot down, sorry, it was struck by lightning and crashed into the Baltic Sea. So these parts we recovered last year. And these were really the most intact parts that we could find out of what we recovered. So based on these parts, that's how we've created the form blocks. And now you can see we're recreating these parts, and they're faithful reproductions. I mean, we're within, you know, a 32nd of an inch, so, or even closer. So, you know, super happy. We have to make about 20 of these ribs per flap for a total of around 40, both port and starboard. Very pleased with how this is coming along, and this will keep the guys busy for the next few weeks, possibly a few months. Oh, once we've got all these ribs done up, in future videos we're going to show you, we're going to have to develop a large jig to hold all these ribs in place as we rivet them all together to form the rib, pardon me. There's some internal components that we still have to create, but that's going to be a big job building this jig to hold all these ribs in place while we rivet the flap together. But that'll be coming in a subsequent video. Welcome back to the Halifax 57 Rescue Rebuild Shop here in Arnprior. Excellent news. One of our team members, Karl, is over in the UK. He's getting all of our parts that we've acquired over the last year or so, getting them ready for shipping over to Canada. And over to you, Karl.
Good morning, folks, from jolly old England. And here's your main man, Karl, the curator, in England, getting ready, a week of driving around Hell's Half Acre to pick up Halifax parts. Oh yeah, some Lank parts thrown in, and Spitfire. But the thing is, we've got to get this stuff. You know, it doesn't grow on trees. All of these parts are for our rebuild back in Canada. So we're going to spend a week traveling around 800 or 900 miles to get all the stuff that you say doesn't exist, but we found it, we bought it, we're bringing it home. And we'll use this baby. That van will be my chariot. Remember, folks, some swords of freedom are made from aluminium, and we're going to do it. So come along with us.
Well, thanks for watching the video. I hope you watched it right to the end. We're trying to make sure that folks watch the videos from start to finish. And also, please, like and subscribe. It's really important. And ring that bell, by the way. Ring the notification bell so you get updates on any new videos that we're doing over the next few months. Without your support, we can't do our work. And it's really important to us that we're reaching folks out there who are interested in the project. And we hope you find this interesting. And please comment. Feel free to comment. Send us your comments and hopefully your support. Thanks so much.